Despite the drug use that I took to pretty large extremes, I made a promise to myself that methamphetamine is not even up for discussion. Watched my whole family struggle with it. Not interested. And for the longest, I held that agreement with myself firmly. Little by little, all the while, I was showing deep interest in the music industry, but I was without a way to capitalize on that desire. In 2016, my grandfather, who was in every right like a second father to me, passed away. And honestly, I really felt like inside I lost my place in the world. A few months after his death, my family received a beneficiary check from his life insurance. After asking my grandmother, she agreed to let me purchase a laptop computer, a blue Snowball microphone, and Mixcraft 7 home studio software. From there, I began making music immediately. And honestly, I feel like that investment, in many ways, saved my life. It opened a door for me to channel and express all these emotions that I was previously unable to verbalize. Fast forward April 13th, 2018, I met a woman and instantly fell in love with her, to say the least. She was more experienced to the world in a sense of the fact that she was 9 years older than me and was far more knowledge than I in the world of drugs. She knew I didn't approve of methamphetamine, and therefore she would leave for days at a time to use. And I crossed the mental threshold where, to me, it now made sense to consider usage, because I wanted her to think I could hang. I didn't want her to think, we can't do this around Colby because, Colby's gonna mess up the vibe. And I didn't want her feeling like she had to leave to use. And that's the point in which I did the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. I made the statement that I wanted to try it. I wanted to try methamphetamine. After doing it the first time, I didn't yet understand its clutch. I thought I was just smooth sailing and was oblivious to the fact that I had went nearly 3 straight days without eating, sleeping, and did literally nothing but paint. At this point, I had been doing tattoos for about 9 years, and I had begun to lose my interest in the tattoo industry. It seemed like my artistry had hit a cap that it wasn't going to exceed. That is, until meth. It was almost like I was then able to hone in my focus in ways that I had never thought possible. And my talent with artistry reached a pinnacle that I was just utterly thrilled about. And for that small moment, I thought the good outweighed the bad with it. All the while, I really had no clue that little by little, every characteristic of myself was diminishing. Despite my total denial, I truly had become a slave to my substance. I'm one of the most humorous people you'll ever meet. I almost never take anything all too serious. I'm always cracking jokes. Those characteristics of me were literally gone almost overnight. There was no more funny Colby. Everything became really serious. And anyhow, in this relationship, I took many positives that I can still cherish deeply till this day. But it also came with its fair share of repeating cycles of on again, off again. And During the breakups, my usage went to unprecedented highs, which led to a full-on avalanche of depression that I had absolutely no grip on. A couple of suicide attempts later, I find myself finally ready to admit that I have a problem. But I had not the slightest clue how to resolve it. And I think my pride was just a little too big to look somebody in the face and tell them that, no, I don't have it together like I think I do. So I naturally used my music as an outlet. My generally happy lyrics became very dark due to them being a depiction of the reality that I was living in, which has left me where I am today. But I consider myself sober? No. I certainly wouldn't. However, the stage of denial is certainly no longer even an option. Holding myself accountable with the public, you know? And I'm at the point where I'm not okay with fading away to an addiction. And I think this slow journey of sobriety is inspiring me to find myself once again, and simultaneously reconnect with my old self, both musically and personally. This path has not been, nor will it be easy, but it's vital. And me holding myself accountable with the public is something I think I'm benefiting from, because it's eliminated the opportunity for denial. I hope to one day have this all behind me. While currently it's something of a living nightmare. I feel it will eventually be just one stepping stone along the path of trials and successes that's to come. You know, I look back and I ask myself, at what point did I lose me? And I really can't answer that question. And, you know, despite anywhere I've ever been in life, one thing I've always done without fail is love myself. And it's a different perspective at this point, because if I wasn't me, I don't think I would like me. I'd have no reason to want to have anything to do with me. I wish that some way, somehow, there would have just been a warning sign, like, hey, in the next 2 years, everything you know is fixing to come crashing down. Because God knows I would have done things so different. But ultimately, I mean, that's kind of the name of the game with life, is there's nothing we can do about our past. It's how do you plan on utilizing the future? And I'm really glad that y'all are going to get to be along for this ride, because while it may be bumpy, I believe it's going to be beautiful. And I appreciate each and every one of you taking the time to hear my story. I'd like to assure you, it's far from finished. These are simply the chapters that lead to the beautiful climax that I am certain is to come. Thank you all very much.